This video is about leveling up your production value. Namely, we're gonna work step by step through some composition basics. Then we're gonna add some simple props, things that are easy to get, not expensive. And we're gonna go from this before shot to this final image.
My name is Pi, and I'm one of the founders of Lynn and Jersa Photography and SLRLounge.com. We're teaming up with Adorama to bring you a new series of photography tutorials called Master Your Craft right here on Adorama TV. So let's dive in.
What's up, friends? My name is Pi. Welcome to Adorama TV. So like I said in the intro, this is a step-by-step guide to kind of leveling up your photographs. We're gonna jump straight into this. Let me introduce our model. This is Kiara. Step one, leveling up production value. Find a lovely model and put her in a great dress. Okay, that has been accomplished. We have this nice, cute dress. And what I'm gonna do is take our first shot. This will be our before, kind of our walk-up shot. We're gonna work step by step through because I want you to see the creative process as an image kind of evolves. I think it helps a lot when you're first learning. So Kiara, why don't you stand right there? I'm shooting this on the Canon R5 with the 28-70. You know, any camera's gonna work for this. If you don't have a 28-70, this is a rather expensive lens. What I would typically be shooting a shot like this with is just like a basic 35. A 35 is kind of my go-to for everything like this. So with Kiara standing right there, I'm gonna do a couple things right here. Mainly, I'm going to have her standing on this trail, which is adding a bit of fill light. We do have like direct hard sunlight, but that'll make for a good before. So we're gonna use the direct sunlight, we're gonna use the trail right behind her, and we're gonna take this before shot. Not terrible, not great. Kiara, you made it presentable, okay? So let's start with the first thing I think I wanna do on this kind of a scene is to backlight. And the reason why I wanna go to backlighting is notice Kiara's dress. It has a very flowy nature to it. So when we put it against the sun and when we shoot into the light, we're gonna get some really nice kind of, well, highlighting on the dress. So coming down to 1/4000th f2 and ISO 100, we take this, and immediately we have kind of leveled up one step, right? So step one for something like this might be that backlighting. Step two, I wonder if I can find a foreground element because the scene right here is not that interesting, right? We just have a bunch of flat stuff. So I can hop behind anything that is kind of backlit and use it to frame Kiara. So what I might do is actually pop right over to this, bring Kiara closer to me, right there. And immediately we get something a little bit better. We have done a bit better, but we still have a background that's not that interesting. We also have a sky that is rather plain, right? So what if we can fill the sky with, say, branches? So at this point, I'm gonna kind of look for a tree. So again, step three, let's see if we can add more detail and interest to the sky, right? And also cover up the parts of the background that aren't that interesting. So bring Kiara forward. She's still gonna be backlit. I'm gonna place her right here. Nice, we still have some highlighting on the dress. What if I bring you a bit forward so you're kind of in front of that branch? There you go, right there. Lovely. Now throw all the hair to that side and just kind of brush the hair down so it all stays together. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my shutter speed. And I'm gonna shoot this fairly bright because it's gonna be edited fairly bright. Let's go right to here. So again, I have my foreground. Now I've added a little bit of sky detail. And I love that Kiara's kind of looking towards the highlights. So look towards the highlights. We get this beautiful highlight right on the cheek. Step three, we've gotten to this place where now the shot looks so much better. You look at where we started, where we are here. Now, this is where adding a simple prop to a scene. And my favorite thing to do is just get a piece of furniture. One piece of furniture you wouldn't believe, well, you will believe it because I'm about to show you. But this is the guy that I've brought. Now I know you're thinking chairs like this are incredibly expensive. So don't buy them unless you have one. If you have already something like this, then cool. But they're actually very affordable to rent. We have a lot of rental companies that can get us stuff like this for 30 bucks to 50 bucks for a single day use. And I want you to see what it's gonna do to your photographs. So placing this right here, I'm gonna get the ground a little bit level. And Kiara, go ahead now and have a seat right there. So our step four is basically adding in that basic prop. And I do have a couple others. So we're gonna do this scene, and I'm gonna take you out and show you another scene with this. So this is our other basic prop. Palm fronds, leaves, that kind of stuff. If you don't have a garden or someplace you can get stuff like this, which again, you might not have, you can hop on Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive, $5, $10 will get you one of these, okay? So here we have 30 to $50 for a chair, $5 to $10 for a leaf. Okay, I gotta make sure that they know, you know?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I want you to lean into this. So actually lean onto this side of the chair. Let's bring all the hair to the front side. So the last thing that we're gonna do is just kind of finalize the pose. So this is our final step. I'm gonna get the pose all set up. Then we're gonna put this all together using a bit of the foreground, using the chair now. That's it. Gorgeous. Kiara, I'm gonna have you do one thing. I'm gonna have you stand up, get the dress to kind of sit right, and then sit back down. So while she's doing that, I want you to look at this image, like how it's essentially transformed from that first shot to this, because we're all good, we're all set, and now I'm just gonna shoot as the scene is nicely backlit. I intend to kind of give these images a little bit more of a boho kind of bright feel to them, but it's not a bad idea to make sure that I have as much dynamic range as possible in the shot. So if I actually bring this to 1/2000th of a second, I can maximize my detail. The image is gonna look a bit dark coming right out of the camera, but I'm gonna have all the detail in the shadows there that I can then lift out in post, okay? And I'll have my highlights as well. So that looks fantastic now. I love that. Before we jump to the next scene, I swapped out to my Sigma 35 Art. I just wanted you guys to see that you don't need a $3,000 lens to get great shots. So this was one of my older workhorse prime lenses that I absolutely love. Quite inexpensive, still a fantastic lens. Since we can, let's open out now to f1.4. I'll go to 1/2000th of a second, and let's go ahead and come down. Pro tip. Take your lens caps off.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. So this go around, I'm gonna shoot this shot centered up. One of the things I love about chairs like this is that they kind of become their own framing element. So I'm gonna get close, and I'm actually gonna use a bullseye composition here where I crop at the legs as they kind of come in and leave a good amount of open space toward the top of the frame. Let's make sure exposure-wise we're good. I'm gonna bring it up a little. Let's go to 1/1000th, f1.4. Okay, I love that. I love it. Feel free to move. I love you leaning into it, moving the hands. That's fantastic. Perfect, I love this set. So let's go on to the next scene. For this next shot, I have my palm frond. We're gonna walk down towards, it can be really any sort of clean backdrop. Here, a clean backdrop would probably be the ocean and the sky. I want this to be a shadow shot, and I don't want it to really compete with anything in the background. So I don't want to have like all the branches and trees and stuff around us. So let's head down there and I'll show you what we got in mind. We're at this lovely little viewpoint. I got sunscreen pouring into my eyes, burning me. Let's take our before shot real quick. I'm gonna get my exposure. Let's go to f4 so we can see a bit of the ocean, get a little more depth of field in our shot. You guys railed on me last time I kept using the wrong, I was just in the moment. I kept saying depth of field. I meant to say like, shallow depth, but anyway, I said the wrong thing. They killed me for it. They killed me for it. So look, this time I want more depth. We're gonna go to f4, okay? Let's take a look at our histogram. That's about right. I just wanna make sure nothing's gonna blow out. So look at me, Kiara, right there. Perfect. Good, nothing's blowing out, we're good to go. Normally, when we grab an object like this, a palm frond, I have this year learned that word, a frond, a leaf. I used to call it a palm leaf, but it's a frond. Okay, normally we think to kind of make this backlit and shoot through it, like use it as a foreground object, and I do that a lot too. There's nothing wrong with this. You can totally do that, but I want to use it a little bit different this go around. I want to use it as a gobo, or a go-between object, and specifically we're going to use it to create shadows on our subject. So what I want you guys to look at is, if I have Kiara kind of right there, I'm going to position you against this pole. There you go. And then I can kind of bring this over and create these lovely little shadows on her. We can create nice shapes and make really interesting sort of abstract portraits using this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play. When doing this, by the way, you're gonna want to take quite a few shots. High speed is gonna be your friend. And yeah, shoot quite a few, especially when you have wind, because every shot's gonna be very different. All right. I dig that. I'm gonna try to get her eyes lit. There it is. They were like inside. The hands were on the inside. Simple hands. Now you're just flipping me off. That's not nice.
I'm trying to hide this.
Her nails fell off. It was like this, like something simple. There, yes. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted, just
like
simple hands. Nice. I wonder if I can't like run this up. This little, this palm frond has this center that's like almost like a spine. Kind of looks cool. But the sun keeps carrying out. So I have to get it like right. Is it there? Nope, there. Holy crap. Ugh. Okay, I know I said we're not going to use this as a foreground object, but I'm also going to use it as a foreground object. Let's be honest. We got it. Let's do it. I want to do a little bit different. I want to do it with hard light though. So let's find a spot where we can shoot that way and not have anything obstructing us. I think we can get there by just going down the trail a little bit. Okay, so right here we have this great unobstructed view. I'm actually gonna do this hard light. What I'm also gonna do is stop it down. So instead of, I want some depth of field here because I want this palm tree to kind of be visible in the foreground and not just be completely blurred out. I also wanna see some of the background. She's gonna look towards the light now, and I'm gonna use this as an object that's gonna kind of wrap up and into her. Look towards that light. Be great if I had an assistant, but I don't. And I want you to like angle the body towards me. There, and now chin towards the light. There, and give the dress a little kick like that. That's it. I love it. Let's see it. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. So I'm basically using the palm frond to kind of give me a bit of foreground that goes over the sky. So kind of making the sky a little bit more interesting. If I had a ultra wide angle right here, it'd be even better. You know what I could do is just get a little bit lower. Let's see if I can get this in front of her a bit more. Okay. One more time. Look forward, there it is. Okay, I dig this little set. That was a lot of fun. I kind of want to see her reaction when she sees it. So, Kiara, this is what it looks like. That's my favorite one.
What?
Isn't that fun? So we're basically using the palm frond to kind of cover up the sky. So it creates this kind of interesting foreground because the sky's a little bit boring. Having her look into that hard light, really fun set. I hope this gives you guys some ideas on how a few simple props can really level up the production value of your portraits. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a ton here on Adorama TV. I'd love for you to leave me a comment as well because I get a lot of ideas from your comments, questions, things like that. In the meantime, y'all can give Kiara a follow. We will link her up when she's done with my camera. And if you guys want to follow me, it's @PieJersa on Instagram. All right, peace. We got to get back to our gear before it's stolen. Bye.